What is up, guys? Back in today with another reaction to I Want to Love You Till Your Dying Day, this time of episode 3. It was a pretty fun episode last week, got a little bit of action, which was nice, looked pretty good, got a little taste of the killing machine. And she ended up kissing our main character's arm better after there was a bit of an incident with some dude. Definitely want to learn more about like the conflict and the whole kind of situation we're actually raising these girls for, to be honest with you. But been a pretty decent start so far. Please be normal. All very different from usual. Would you expect a killing machine to care too much about their appearance? Is there any reason for the chair to be floating? Lazy teacher. I mean, you could if you would. To be fair, you could if you would. You would if you could. That's the one. Interesting. Incredibly good at history. Is that something to do with that training for maybe she's incredibly good at historical battles and such, I imagine. Strategy. Must be pretty terrifying, this, mustn't it? Waiting for your number. Eventually, one day, your number's getting called. Yeah, I guess it makes sense. She'd be pretty good at like history. But as I said in the intro, I do kind of hope that we do delve more into like the conflict and why we're fighting and who we're fighting and like the very little information given about those so far. And I feel like that's quite important. I mean, judging from like all of the visuals it's in the open and everything, it doesn't seem to be much of anything in regards to the opposite side of things. That side of things. I can understand this is probably maybe going to be a bit more focused on the romance aspect, perhaps. And it looks pretty action packed from like the opening, but that's just openings for you, I guess. Yeah, what is it? Good question. Never like a burden for her or anything, is it? Again, probably the way she's been like trained and such, but the only geary human. There's something I did mention last week. I think some people maybe took it the wrong way in regards to me addressing the kisses in this series. And I was like, seeing it used in this way kind of devalues a romantic kiss, and I still feel like that is the case. Like, what does a kiss mean in this series? A kiss is a use to heal someone in the series. Does that mean that kissing someone is less romantic in this kind of universe? You imagine so, right? Um, and it does like slightly devalue it. To some people, they will just think it is, especially if you're younger, they will just see it as, oh, that's not a romantic thing. That's a healing thing. That's a magic thing. And I guess it being a magic thing is also pretty cool, but it kind of does devalue the romantic aspect of it, right? Um, I mean, again, don't get me wrong, there'll be certain instances, romantic instances, where it won't matter whatsoever. But I feel like, again, if you're like someone that was raised here from a very early age, and you grew up with all this, you would maybe end up thinking that a kiss is not all that much of a romantic thing. It's a thing you do to heal someone rather than something you do to kind of tell someone you love them, something like that. I perhaps didn't word it the best last week. But yeah, I do still stand firm that that might, again, not too much for us, the audience, but would devalue things for some of the characters. Me. I mean, we absolutely see that with me, don't we? Whereas her, it's like, oh, it's my first kiss. Sheena. There's a nice blood flavour on that rice ball. Really? Immortal. I was going to mention this a minute ago, but I thought I sounded stupid. I was going to say she's like a clone. Like a test tube baby or something. Um, I wonder if she actually is immortal, or if she's just that powerful she's seen as immortal. Because she She just destroys whatever's in her way. She definitely does, doesn't she? Yeah, she's just happy to see her kind of evolve as a person a bit. That's cruel. I think that's a perfectly good thing to say. I do like that girl. Blonde haired one. Probably my favorite character away from Sheena. So, oh, she might just be my favorite character. Probably more of a fan of her than Sheena at the minute, but I'm I'm intrigued in Sheena's evolution as she is as well. The bones wore out. That that Mimi? I thought this was oh shit, what the hell? I kind of thought this was just like a bag of some of the people that died. Um, I think I'm probably misremembering here. I think I am misremembering. I kind of feel like they might have mentioned it in the early episodes that they just leave the people that die where they died, but probably misremember that. So she is like immortal. Begs the question after what we saw last week. What could do this to her? That's Mimi. Wow. So that all that blood she was covered in the first episode was that hers? Reckon? Maybe I think pretty much all of us assumed it was someone else's blood. You guys know, massive horror fan, so really big fan of like regeneration, transformation sequences. I'm hoping this is good here. Set up to be. Um, it always looks a bit better in live action with practical effects. Don't get me wrong, but I do like it in anime as well. That's regeneration sequence. So yeah, she does seem to be immortal. I mean, he said pick up the pieces, so yeah, I mean she is literally and she should be dead. No question about that, I think. Interesting. And she can even heal herself somehow. Brings even more big questions up, doesn't it? We're still not awfully familiar with like the magic and such in this universe either. Hmm. Dame dame, dame ho, dame do. 3. Again, don't want to comment much because we really still don't know an awful lot, but clearly seems there's other ways to heal yourself other than getting kissed by somebody. Or perhaps it is just the case that she is made out of something special or something. I did bring this up last week, didn't I, about Atri, My Dear Moments. Kind of reminded me of Atri a little bit. Perhaps this show has got more similarities to that series than I thought. But yeah, I do actually think that probably was her own blood in that first episode then. There's no wonder she doesn't like paint. Clearly goes through enough. Like Jesus. I guess that's why she was so prominent in her healing magic we saw last week as well. I suppose when you fix this up like that, you don't fix the food in your belly, so it's probably running on empty. She heals herself, doesn't she? So Japanese, Sheena. Already thought we were. Tomodachi. That must be pretty wholesome to spy on. How was that visual? That was just yeah, one of these that yeah, eye catch. Okay, go shopping. To be honest, again, we really don't know fuck all about this world. So is there like, is there shops out there? Like, what does the world look like? There's still so many questions. I do feel like that's something the show hasn't done awfully great so far. The world building. It again, it's not that much of an issue because the focus is very much on the relationships. But again, I would like to know more about the world we're in, how things function, the opposition. Like, yeah, it does feel very contained so far. Does it? Andori. Come on, girls. Like, surely this ain't take a day to clean this up, does it? Don't fuck all in this room. That bed looks so dirty. little cockroach. Oh, she is. She actually though. So she is going to tell her about that. But see, that's weird, right? Because the usual like call outs, they called out a bunch of people. So it is a bit weird when they just like take her out like this. Secret. So there's something even more than the immortality. I don't think she's human. I think she might be some kind of like vessel, like a spirit attached to it or something. I don't know. That's the thing. I don't think we'll fully believe this till you see it themselves, will they? I think that again. I kind of think they're slightly right in that. Not a ghost, but she got like a soul like attached to her and like binding a spirit to like a body. Weird as this analogy is, it's a little bit like Chucky. How Chucky works. Oh, okay. Ugh. See, I'm waiting for her to go out and look for her and then just see her like regenerate. This horrific sequence of God, oh God. She's trying to be quiet, was she? I do really like the like little characteristics like that this show does for the characters. I feel like it's very effective. There's some more blood. She gonna tell her what this super secret thing is that they spoke about a minute ago? We're probably not gonna hear it today. Okay, I don't think we're gonna hear it today, are we? Already dead. Okay. But what you mean by that? I guess maybe the ghost accusations were more accurate. Okay, so we are going to hit today. So she's already dead. Well, we know she's already died. So are you classifying that as being a status of dead? I feel like when you die and regenerate like that, you come back to life, so you're not dead. Um, so it is just kind of like a body for her. As I said, maybe it is just one of those cases where her soul is like attached, or maybe she's just like prolonging. I don't know. I guess we'll find out, but really not dead. I mean, she might be dead, but she's not actively dead. I don't know. I'm not sure how to word it. She's clearly still in the realm of the living, but perhaps just like logically, she should be dead. I don't know. Okay, we'll delve more into it next week. I'm not sure if she would know the ins and outs of it. But yeah, pretty good episode. As I said, I still feel like I could really use a bit more world building here. Understanding, like, I get that this is much more of a character focused thing. And I enjoy that. That's definitely the best part of this show. But I feel like it kind of needs I need to understand more of the surrounding parts of the show at some point. And I don't feel like it's gonna get to that point, if you know what I'm saying. Like at the rate we're going, it doesn't feel like we're actually gonna get too much kind of fleshed out about like the enemy and the state of the world, what our surroundings are like. Yeah. I mean, I guess in a way it's pretty effective because it makes you feel like one of the characters in a sense of being like isolated to this orphanage and not really knowing the state of like the outside world and such. So in that regard, it's pretty effective actually. But as an audience, I still would like to know a little bit. But yeah, good episode. Good episode. I think this show's been pretty slow and deliberately paced so far, which I do enjoy. I know some people really won't like the pacing of this. It does kind of remind me of This Monster Wants to Eat Me that aired a couple seasons ago, which I really liked and was quite slow and deliberately paced. This show kind of reminds me of that show, quite a few things. Share some of the same voice actresses as well, funny enough. But yeah, it was another slow episode, but another good one. Again, kind of progressing the characters that actually became friends. I mean, they were before, but officially, I guess. And then we kind of learned the secret. A lot of like really nice scenes, like the cleanup and the eating lunch. I kind of wish we had a bit longer with that, honestly. With them having lunch with the girls. But yeah, the secret is she's already dead. So I always loved that title. I never watched the show, but the detective's already dead. I always really liked the title of that show. I thought that was a really cool title. But yeah, she's already dead. It's a bit of a slight spoiler, although everybody knows this spoiler. Bit of the Sixth Sense coming up here. But yeah, I'd like to know like the ins and outs of that. Again, is it just like a soul attached to a body? Is she just like slowly dying? Is she always in a state of dying? It's just like we keep putting it off. Is it the case that she's just like zombie? um, yeah, I mean, I guess we'll find out a bit more next week potentially. As I said, I feel like she might not even know the ins and outs of it. Probably have to ask the doctor about that. Or perhaps she genuinely is just a ghost. But yeah, let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments. Leave a like on the video if you guys did enjoy, and subscribe to the channel if you want to keep up to date. And I'll see you guys next week with episode 4.